Every morning I woke up, I had a real conversation with that dirty mirror. And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't?
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. Waiting to begin never got anyone anywhere.
Even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. No one's coming to save you. Nobody. You are it. The life you want, you are it.
You can say something's not my fault and still say I'm going to own it and I'm going to work on dealing with this because it's mine to deal with. It was like the truest realization that no one is coming.
It's a becoming of what your habits are. It's, hey, if you really are wanting to take on this journey and become, someone that is taking charge and learning about things, it comes down to your mindset. It's about what you're consuming. It's about what you're doing with your mind. If you want to make a change, it starts with what direction is my mind going? Am I getting distracted all the time by social media and stuff like that? Am I wanting to do things at a high level, but I'm not taking the steps to actually learn about that?
Identity and values drive behavior. So if you want to make a change, you have to change your vision of who you are. You have to begin telling yourself a different narrative. And the narrative you tell yourself about yourself is everything. And if you tell yourself that you're a scared, undereducated kid from Tacoma whose family has never accomplished anything, let me tell you what you will become. A scared, undereducated kid from Tacoma who never accomplishes anything, because that's what you believe. You tell yourself that story enough, and it will become real. But on the flip side, you could tell yourself a story of you're a learner. You learn faster than most people. You're willing to put in more work than most people. You're willing to read more books than most people. You're willing to spend an inhuman amount of time every day improving your mind simply by getting new ideas into the system. And once I switched my narrative to being the learner, it didn't matter where I started, it only mattered where I was trying to go. And as long as I had that clarity, then I could execute because I believed I could do anything I set my mind to without limitation.
Everybody knows they learned, and they are not more intelligent than you, so you can learn too.
So the more I realized this is my journey, it was you. So you better figure out who the you are on this journey. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody that they're not. So I was able to figure out my own potential by figuring out me.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
When every boy realizes no one's coming to save him, and that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
Nobody cares about you. And I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. You think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you.
Look around you. There is no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing.
I found myself in a place that I just never envisioned I would be. I would wake up every morning just pinned to the bed with anxiety. And I became somebody that I barely recognized. And the thing that's interesting about being stuck in life is that the fact is, you know what you need to do. That's the easy part. It's the how. How the f do you make yourself do what you need to do? When you are scared or overwhelmed or anxious or hopeless or depressed or any of the stuff that happens to you as a human. That's the $100 million question. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not.
We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
I just have bad news for everybody. Nobody cares that you don't have time to practice. Nobody cares that you didn't grow up with money. Nobody cares that you came from a bad neighborhood. Nobody cares about your problems.
Stop with the pity party. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. And remember, no one is going to save you but you. Save yourself.
It seems like my version of personal development requires me to fall into a hole or dig one. And then I realize nobody's coming to rescue me. And if I want to get out of the hole, I'm going to need to build a freaking ladder.
It doesn't sound good to say that you're in control, that nobody's coming to save you, but that's what works. And so if you take Kobe Bryant's advice, which is that boos don't block dunks, and the idea that you can get so good at something that people can't stop you from succeeding.
And I promise you, every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success. But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way.
You have to learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times these fights and these battles, you gotta be your own coach. You gotta be your own motivator. You got a long journey ahead of you because you're gonna find out that while your dad did a lot of shit to you, you're gonna have to make it on your own.
Really, because I don't care about being solitary. I don't care about being on my own. I don't care about taking risks because for a very long time I was, in any case, on my own. And everything was a risk. Going to school was a risk, or going out for lunch was a risk, or whatever.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
You have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you.
So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have, but you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
You have to make that start. You have to separate yourself from the pack. You have to be willing to spend time with yourself. You have to sacrifice.
I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was going to miracle me to be somebody special. All my situations were on me now. It's solely on me.
It's close to 3 a.m. right now. The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. It's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends. And I mean, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life. You know, achieve your dreams. That's not always open. I'm talking about right now. The small steps in between the big successes that everyone sees. No one sees this. Right now, I'm saying, like, there's a confidence to it, man. There's a bad motherfucker that's right here, you know, that's getting ahead of the competition. There's an overwhelming sense of fulfillment and pride and satisfaction with that.
Successful people have mastered the art of spending time alone. When I get time with myself, and I get in my head and I get in my heart and I understand my behaviors and my belief systems and my parameters and what I need to do and how I need to sow and where I need to send my energy and how I need to execute in the day. It's a superpower. When you spend that time alone and you can think and you can pray and you can meditate and everybody's not in your mix, you're able to grow something.
Bunch of people, but the few that I did respect are the people who were uncommon amongst uncommon people. And what that means is those people who weren't afraid to stand alone.
I'm very comfortable in my own head. I'm very comfortable alone for hours at a time, for days at a time. The one companion that's always going to be with you is yourself.
No one's coming. No one.
You go after things. You try them. Even if you fail, you get back up. And you continue to try and fail, and ensuring you never fail to try. If you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse.
The cure for sadness isn't finding 100 different ways to be happy. It's accepting the life you're walking through for what it is and pushing through. It's believing that everything has a purpose and learning to make peace with past versions of yourself that don't align with who you've become. The pain is a prerequisite. Improve yourself as a human being. There will be many things in this life that you don't have control over, but your happiness is not one of them. Perspective is everything.
I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you were raised. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care about any of that If you do the work consistently, if you invest in yourself consistently, 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off. You can do this.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day. Even if you have to get down and it hurts and it's hard and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform.
It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's what you become. So part of the key here is to set the kind of goals that will make something of you. Don't set them too low so that you don't have to grow and you don't have to read and you don't have to try and you don't have to stretch. Don't set them too low. And then don't sell out. Don't go for something that's going to cost you your virtue or cost you your values or sell out your principles. There's a good middle road here to follow. Goals that will inspire, goals that will help you grow, change, develop, and become better than you are.
A creative life is simply this. A creatively lived life is any life where consistently, routinely, habitually, and constantly you choose the path of curiosity over the path of fear. Not once, not twice, not a few times, but all the times. All the times. Because you're constantly going to be in these crossroads in your life, daily almost, where there's a lure of curiosity on this side and there's a kind of a roadblock of fear over here saying, take this safer path. I don't know how that one ends. So let's just continue with this. And if you keep going to the right on the fear path instead of going to the left on the curiosity path, your life gets smaller and heavier, which I know is not what you want or what anybody wants.
If someone can make their dream become a reality, then it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible.
I spend 80% of my time focused on the beautiful things in my life, things I'm grateful for, the beautiful things that I want to bring into existence, all of it. 20% of the time, though, I'm in the darkness, man.
Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring?
Pain plus reflection equals progress.
That we truly have influence in more than our environment. Our environment affects us for sure. It plants seeds and weeds into our life, but there is still a choice. And I think even if you feel there isn't a choice, simply by accepting that there is, it means you have a chance to get out of there. When you believe you've exhausted all options, remember this, you haven't.
To stay in touch with those aspects of us that come natural as children is part of the challenge of growing and maturing into adulthood. First and foremost, that really help you hold on to those essential aspects of childhood. A willingness to suspend disbelief, a willingness to believe in yourself, a willingness to believe that if you can dream it up, you can get it done.
Be willing to suck. Because as you're willing to suck, you're actually becoming more creative
You're becoming more daring. You're becoming more experienced. But I'm afraid. Guess what? We all get afraid when we want to do something we've never done before. It's called leaving our comfort zone. Our comfort zone feels comfortable because we've been living in it for quite a while.
Is who do I want to be? Who is the person that I need to be, that I can love, that I want to love, that I want to give more love to? Like, what parts of growth are there still available? If you literally put your hand on your heart and just go, I am exactly where I need to be, you stop getting lost in the future, you stop worrying about the past, and you realize that everything you need to learn, everything we read right now to make a change, it's all right now. It's all right here.
Passion is the antidote to self-doubt, because when you're in your passion space, you don't have time to have all that negative talk. When you're in your passion space, you know, you're leaning forward in the world.
There are things like, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work out, this stuff works for other people. All of these kinds of negative thoughts keep people shut down. They don't go for the dreams. They react to life, they kind of crawl through life with no enthusiasm, no sort of energy, and no belief in themselves or the possibilities of something better.
As you say to yourself, I'm exactly where I need to be, you realize you're not ahead of them. And also, you only get ahead of yourself by first being present to these.
I think self-love is all about pushing yourself, demanding of yourself that you stretch and reach your boundaries.
You are the architect of your own reality. So design a life that resonates with your true self.
What you think and what you believe, it's what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple.
There comes a time when you have to snap. You make a choice to go all in, to stop hesitating, to be relentlessly consumed by what you love. You give everything towards a vision only you can see, and everything turns off except this one thing that dominates your life.